Nehemiah 5 1 through 3. Then the people and their wives began to complain strongly against their own Judean countrymen. So they're whining to their people. This kind of mirrors, reminded me of Israel in the wilderness when they kept complaining to Moses. But the fact is, they're Israelites. They're in the land now. Use the land you inherited. You already know where your family's property is. Grow food, eat. Some said, our sons and daughters are many, and must be given grain if we are to eat and live. So their needs food, but they're complaining. Rather than go to them, hey, is there any food? We need food. They're complaining. They got to the point where it bothered them to where they whine. Oftentimes we wait and wait to see if it needs met rather than go to it. And by the time it's like blown up. Instead of going when they missed a few meals, now they're going because they're really, really hungry. When they could have went earlier without complaining as much. Been like, hey, what are we going to do for food? Oftentimes, God, it's about how we handle it. Sometimes. God both in the wilderness answered with blessing of food, but he also rebuked them and reproved them at times because of the way they handled it and complained. The way we deal with our needs and the way we go about going before God is important. Verse 3. Others said, we have been mortgaging out our fields, vineyards, our houses, and now we must be given grain for our hunger. What they're actually referring to, I have no idea. Because no mention in this text of them being required to mortgage out their vineyards or any of this. So why they did this, Scripture ain't clear about. Why? I mean, sometimes we cause our own problems and expect God to fix them. And oftentimes he will, but we need to learn the lesson behind it. There's no mention of God requiring them to give mortgage or any of that. So I think they did that on their own accord without God, and now they're in a bind because of it. While God will fix our binds, we need to try to avoid being in one.